This morning. In fact, it was organized rather quickly, and even more quickly, I decided about 5 minutes ago to change my talk. In fact, I didn't have a talk ready at all, because when I was invited to come to ORF, which indeed is a very interesting organization, which is very much also supported by Mr. Ambani, I thought that, of course, we'd be glad and happy to be here. But it was then the question was having a round table, questions, answers, and so on. And then just by talking with Dr. Kulkarni a moment ago, I thought that maybe, since the public will be different tomorrow, I will give my tomorrow lecture here and have another lecture tomorrow. So I hope that the audience here is, you are part scientists and some are not scientists. Some of you, is that correct? I was told. Yes? So this talk will be sort of more general, and but also with some chemistry. It's nice to be back in Mumbai, and I saw that there was a person sitting over there who's in theoretical physics and knows some of my colleagues very well. So, I think let's, since it already been indicated some of the work we have been doing and what are some of the general concepts, I would like to mix the two together, some general considerations on science and society, and some others which are more closely related to our work. But since I didn't bring my file for tomorrow, so I will a bit improvise, but it should be all right, I hope. Do you have this? Sorry, not stop. Okay. Here it is. I can go ahead now. Okay. Now I guess this is something which you probably know very well. You are working in string theory. Yes. So what is here at the beginning on left, we don't know yet. Even string theorists don't know it yet. Is that correct?
Getting there.
Getting there. Trying to get there. But there's something on the other side, now people say, on the left-hand side. Sun. Okay, anyway, this was just between us. So, the whole story started with the Big Bang. Maybe the string theorists will tell you that something happened before the Big Bang, but that's something which is still very, very controversial. Anyway, it started with a Big Bang, and then the universe developed. It developed, and progressively, after having first cooled down, because at the beginning it was very hot. There was no chemistry, there was no life, extremely hot. Then the universe cooled down rather quickly, and then more and more complex entities formed. These more and more complex entities were first particles. Particles meant atoms. And at the beginning there was just, if I may say, physics. Just physics. Later on, so here, just physics, too hot, no chemistry. Then as it cooled down, particles formed and they could get together and build up atoms. Then atoms began to interact with each other, and then chemistry started at this point, more or less. Chemistry started when the universe was cold enough for atoms to get together and to make molecules. Later on, chemistry developed, and by ways we don't understand yet, but which must be chemical ways, I come back to that. Matter became more and more complex, and as it became more and more complex, it organized itself, and at some stage, it had the properties of being a living system. Life on Earth appeared about here. And of course, the next step, even more important in some ways than life, but which cannot exist without life, is that these organisms which were living will also start thinking. That's of course the most important. And the jump from chemistry, non-living, to chemistry of biology is of course a big one, but I guess the biggest one is from living to thinking. Now, this evolution of the universe was obviously an evolution towards more and more complex matter. What were the steps? If you look at parameters like information and complexity as a function of time. First matter was divided, particles. Then the particles went together, condensed to form atoms, and then atoms form molecules. But it's not enough to be condensed. The things have to get organized. So after that, it became organized. After organized, at some stage, it became living. How? We don't know yet, but we can begin to understand progressively how this can have happened. We will never see. Probably, I wouldn't say never. You should never say never, because you never know, if I may say. So, for the moment at least, there's little chance that we will be able to go back and look at what has happened. But at least we can try to build up rational ways based on physics and chemistry in which molecules can become more and more organized, make more and more complex systems, and at some stage begin to have these properties of life, reproduce itself, grow, and so on. And then, of course, next step, have to think. And finally, what next? I don't know.